Madam Namonga, and in this tutorial we'll be looking at the human body, specifically the respiratory system. So under the human body, you have the human body for grade 8. There you look at the reproductive system, but for the grade 9, you look at the respiratory and the circulatory system. So we're going to answer this question from 2020 because it will summarize the whole topic, the respiratory system. So this topic, mainly you just have to know how to label the chest, okay? Just the chest. Then for the circulatory system, you should be able to label the heart and the veins, the different types of veins, capillaries and arteries. So with me there, I have the diagram of the chest. So let's start naming the parts there before we start answering the questions. So for Q, you should know this by heart. I hope it's clear for Q. Q, that's the trachea, okay? And then for R, R is the, depending on how you pronounce words, that should be where gaseous exchange takes place. Bronchus, bronchi. S are the ribs. T are intercostal muscles, and U is the diaphragm. Okay, so you should be able to know these parts by heart. So question A is identify the parts labeled Q and T. I think we've talked about that already. So Q is trachea and T are intercostal muscles. Question B, in which labeled part does gaseous exchange take place? I think I've also mentioned this earlier. Gaseous exchange takes place in part R. Okay, there. Hope it's clear enough. Okay, part R. And then what is the function of the part labeled S? S are ribs. What is the function of the ribs? The ribs have one big function, and that is to protect the lungs from injuries. We move on to question D. And question D is state whether the shape and position of the part U, which is the diaphragm, indicates inhalation or exhalation. So inhalation is simply breathing in, and exhalation is you breathing out. So the diaphragm, this shape of the diaphragm, does it indicate that this person is breathing in or out? Okay, so when the diaphragm makes a dome shape, when it moves inside, it means you are breathing out. You can try to do that. Breathe out, and you see that your diaphragm will be, you feel it that it's moving inside. You do it slowly. Okay, so this is indicating exhalation. Okay, the last part of this question is what respiratory disease is caused by cigarette smoking? Okay, so even on cigarettes there it's written smoking is harmful to your health, right? So you doing that brings a lot of complications to your health. I hope no one smokes. So smoking can cause cancer, lung cancer that is, and it can also cause emphysema. Emphysema is spelled as EMPHYSEMA. Emphysema is simply a health condition that makes your bones brittle, okay? Meaning they become, how can I explain brittle in simple terms? If your bones are brittle, meaning, let's say you eat chicken, you leave the bone alone, then you leave it in the sun for a long time or just outside, it will become so light that anything you, like if you put a stone or step on it, it can easily break. So that's what happens when you smoke a lot. Your bones will become like that. So meaning one day if you happen to fall or an accident occurs, you easily break your bones. So please, let's stay away from smoking. Let's be good girls and boys. Okay, let's look at another question on the human body. So now this one will be looking at the circulatory system. This one was on the respiratory system. And then from 2020 again, specimen. Now this one is 2020 internal paper. Now let's move to 2020, the specimen. Okay, that's the human body there. Okay, the human body. Hope it's clear enough. Let me just focus on this. Okay, the human body. But this is mainly the circulatory system. These ones deal with blood vessels. And we have three different types of blood vessels. We have the capillaries, we have the veins, and we have the arteries. Okay, so just like the way you're supposed to know how to label the chest, these ones also you're supposed to know how to label the heart, and which veins take blood to the heart, which ones take away from the heart, and all that. Okay, so the diagram shows blood flow in blood vessels labeled RST in the human body to and from the muscles. But you can see there they put muscle tissues in the middle, and then you have something taking blood from the heart and something there taking blood to the heart. So now the question A is identify blood vessels S and R. Okay, so the recommended books, the books I recommend, in fact the book I recommend for all subjects is the Examiner's Mind, because that has very precise notes. So once you go through the notes the notes from Examiner's Mind, it will be hard for you to fail unless if you just want to. So for those that are looking for textbooks to buy, please buy Examiner's Mind. You can find it in Young Pharaohs. It's cheaper than Book World. I think Young Pharaohs should be 115. And if you can get it in Book World, it's about 157. All subjects are there except for computer studies. Okay, so you find these labels, or you can use Progress. So back to answering the question, identify blood vessels S and R. So blood vessel S, that's the aorta, and R is a blood capillary. Okay. From the diagram, that's B, give one reason for identifying blood vessel S in A1 above. How did I know that S is the aorta? I knew that S is the aorta because the aorta is the only one that will carry blood from the heart. Okay, it's big there. It's the only big blood vessel that carries blood from the heart. Okay. C, which blood vessel, R, S, or T, will have a lot of carbon dioxide? Okay, which one will have a lot of carbon dioxide? Try to think. So the blood vessel that has a lot of carbon dioxide is the blood vessel that carries blood back to the heart, because the heart receives deoxygenated blood. Okay, so that will be blood vessel T, because it's taking blood where? Back to the heart. That's our answer there. It's blood vessel T. Okay, and the one that will carry the most oxygen will be S, because it's getting blood from the heart. The last question is, suggest two substances which can be exchanged between blood vessel R and the muscle tissue. So in the blood capillaries carry mainly two gases in the human body. They carry two gases, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide. So how you phrase this is, one, gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide. And please, when you're writing gases, you say, if you want to say oxygen, you can't write O2, you have to write the actual oxygen. Okay, if you want to put the chemical symbol, maybe you can put that in parentheses. So the two substances which can be exchanged between blood vessel R and muscle tissue, the muscle tissues is one, gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide. Then we are going to have nutrients like glucose. Those are exchanged between the capillaries and the muscles. So just to emphasize, the human body, the grade 8 part, you deal with the reproductive system. Then the human body, now we're looking at for grade 9, there are two major parts, the respiratory system and the circulatory system. Under the circulatory system, you're supposed to know the blood vessels that we have, which are the veins, the capillaries and the arteries. Okay, which one takes blood to the heart and from the heart, which one has more oxygen and which one has less oxygen. How do you know that this blood has oxygen and this one doesn't have? From the color. So research on that. How do you know that this blood has oxygen and this one doesn't have? From the color. Okay, then under the respiratory system, you are supposed to know how to label the chest and all the functions of the labels, and there are a few. You just have the trachea, the bronchi, the bronchioles, you have the intercostal muscles, the diaphragm, and the ribs. Just that, and you'll be good to go. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.